Happy New Year, everybody. I hope you're enjoying your winter. I've been keeping busy out visiting our climbing trees and scouting out trees in new communities that want us to bring the tree climbing program to town. This means I've been doing a lot of tree inspections. And the inspection is the first step in the process that we go through when we're trying to set up a new program. While I may have hundreds of trees to choose from in any of these communities, you may be surprised to hear that I typically find less than a handful of trees that will pass my assessment. To give you an idea, out of every maybe 100 trees that I look at, I'd probably climb 98 of them as a professional or an experienced climber, but one, maybe two, if I'm lucky, would actually pass the assessment, therefore be acceptable for use in our climbing program. Again, this is how I identify strong and healthy trees for us to climb, right? There are going to be many reasons that a tree may not pass the inspection, but I'm going to share two with you right now that are very common. I come across them quite a bit, and they may also be issues for you if you find them in your landscape trees. So the first issue that I want to point out, we actually find this at the base of the tree, all right? So down here, I'm assessing the health of the tree by looking at the root flares, or the trunk tapering outwards as it heads into the ground. So these flares, they're reflective of a healthy and properly developed root system on this side of the tree. However, on this side, can you see that the trunk heads straight down into the ground? Well, that's an indication that something is physically girdling or inhibiting the root growth on this side of the tree. So with the trunk constricted, there's going to be a reduced flow past this point. And what that means is the branches above may not be supplied with enough water for healthy growth, and the root system below isn't going to receive the sugars or food that it needs for proper development. So since we have this potentially compromised root system on this tree is not going to be used in any of my climbing programs. Might be one I still climb, but again, it just doesn't pass my assessment for the program. The next one we're going to see is up in the trunk or the branches. For instance, I inspect the branches at the point that they connect to the tree, trunk or limb that they're growing out of. I want to make sure it's a strong point of connection. If the angle is too steep or it forms a tight V, there's a couple reasons that will lead to a weaker point of connection. And now this can also happen in the trunk if you have a double stem tree, right? And I'm going to show you one here. I'm going to turn around and see it, and it's a great example because it's actually already begun to split on us. Right? And it looks like, judging by it, the split actually happened a year or so ago. But anyhow, if you could see inside here, you'd see that the wood tissue was only connected up to this point here. With the two trunk sections growing in such a tight V, the bark inside of both of these branches would never have allowed and was not allowing the wood tissue or the wood fibers to connect to each other. That resulted in the tree not being able to sufficiently reinforce the strength of the connection. And since both sections got longer each year, it resulted in greater leverage or force placed on this point. Since the strength of the connection wasn't able to keep up with the increased force, we ended up with a point that split out. Fortunately, not every one of these is guaranteed to fail during the lifetime of a tree like this one is, but when you do find a branch or section of tree that has split out, it's likely to come back to that issue right there. And that's something that can have been seen long before it happened, right? So those are a couple of the items that we look at when we're inspecting trees, and we run our climbing trees through this inspection every time we show up to climb them. You don't need to run your trees through an inspection as often as that, but if you started with every 3 years or so, that'd be a great place to start. Because with your landscape trees, you often have options available to you to help prevent, minimize, or even address issues like this one. If you do get out and about and notice these issues or have other concerns with your trees, feel free to give me a call or email me. Maybe I can give you some advice. Well, we have already filled our April and May climbing schedule for next year and posted it to the website calendar. We're looking forward to that. Right now, I'm scheduling June through October. So if you were hoping to have a private birthday or staff retreat climbing with us this year, this would be a great time to give me a call. Until next time, I hope you're able to get out and enjoy the trees.